My name is Angelique Ashby, and I'm the Vice Mayor of the City of Sacramento. Well, when I first ran for City Council, I represented the Gardenland Northgate community, and since then, as Vice Mayor, I get to represent the whole city, which includes Gardenland Northgate, but also I have a bit of a special feeling for Gardenland Northgate and the families that are there and some of the programs and projects that are there for youth. I have been looking forward to this interview because I love working with Greenhouse. I think you guys do a fantastic job. And so I'm always looking for opportunities to partner with you and help with the program and be a support. Most people are surprised to find out that I was a single mom at age 20 and that I raised my son, went to work, and put myself through school at UC Davis and law school at McGeorge all as a single parent. I changed my mind about what I wanted to be growing up all the time. I think when I was in 3rd grade, I wanted to be a paleontologist because I like dinosaurs. And then I think a little later in life, I started dancing a lot and doing a lot of jazz and tap and ballet. And I really thought I'd probably own a dance studio or do some of those things. Mm-hmm. And when I got into college, I started to really enjoy sociology classes and learned a little bit more about how to get involved in the community, and ended up at law school. And then in law school, I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer because I had a lot of internships, but I really liked the policy work. And so I landed in a position of leadership in the community, which led to running for office. But that never was really a finite goal of mine. Nope, I didn't imagine I would be vice mayor. I didn't really imagine anything. But my advice to everyone young is to just have an open mind about all the world of possibility of things that you could become or do, and that it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you end up. And if you go through life with an open heart and an open mind, you'll be surprised where you might end up. My parents got divorced when I was a teenager, when I was about 15 years old, and so there was a lot of turmoil that went along with that. I had a fairly stable life, and then at that point when my parents got divorced, I had to move quite a bit from one parent to the next, and both of my parents got remarried and then divorced again, and so there was a lot of different adults in my life, and trying to manage all of that I think was fairly challenging. I had a very quick transition from being a kid to being an adult because at 19 I was pregnant and on my own, and so I have had to be a very responsible adult since before I could drink alcohol. So for me, the transition from being a teenager that's kind of dreaming about a big future to being a responsible adult who had to change diapers and pay bills was literally overnight. And so I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and made some really big decisions about how I was going to be a good mom and a good provider and move myself forward and contribute to my city and be the best that I could be. The most helpful person to me in my life has always been my dad. He's been a really big supporter for me. I have a great family, a nice mom and a good brother and a grandma that loves me a lot and cousins and friends, but the closest person to me is my dad. My advice to teenagers is to just keep trying. And I know that being a teenager feels like a permanent state and that high school feels like it lasts forever, but it doesn't. It's over with quickly. And then not too far away, it's a faded, distant memory. So good or bad, don't put all of your eggs in the high school or teenage basket. You only live under your parents' roof for so long, and you only go to high school for 4 years, which isn't very long in the scheme of things for life. So no matter what you're experiencing now, don't let that define you, but rather drive you and motivate you forward. And just keep dreaming big. Think about all the things that you could be, and don't ever give up on any of it. Know that all of it is within your reach. If I could come from a position of not being a great student in high school, smart but not really applying myself, to being a single mom and having to push myself through alone, then you can do it too. I want to accomplish everything that I possibly can. You guys know, because you've worked with me a lot, that I move pretty fast and I try really hard to do as many things for the city of Sacramento as I can. The interesting thing about being an elected is that you have a term limit, so you never know when the end is coming. You know that you have a 4-year term or a 2-year term or whatever it is, and that after that it might be somebody else's turn to try to work for the community. And so What I want to do is be a person in a leadership role that provides stability and opportunity to the community so that no matter who comes after me, that those systems of stability are in place and they can be creative and add on and make things better. My interest in working with the community happened through my neighborhood. I got involved with my neighborhood association, which was just starting up, and literally the first thing I did was fight for a stop sign that we got. And after that, people really asked me or encouraged me to do more and more and more until eventually there was really a desire for me to run for the city council seat. I lived in South Natomas for part of the time that I was in high school. So my earliest memories of Gardenland Northgate would be as a teenager. And I had an awful lot of friends that lived in the Gardenland Northgate area, and we went over there and swam in the pools and hung out, and I thought that that was a very nice community because there were big trees and lots of parks and open space like the Niños Parkway, and I always thought it was really pretty. Then over time, I got the opportunity to represent Gardenland Northgate, and I've really enjoyed trying to go back and find ways to contribute to redoing some of those parks, as you know, and working with the youth who are there now. And I think that's a very special part of the community, but one that needs quite a bit of attention. For me, when I hear the word community, I usually feel like that's power of the people. So my experience with community has been the greater Natomas area, so Gardenland, Northgate, South Natomas, River Oaks, North Natomas, and that is a very powerful community at every level. They know how to advocate for themselves, and they know how to get things really moving, save their own pools, go to their community center, fight for libraries. So when I hear the word community, I smile inside and think, here they come. I think a strong community is a community that talks to each other. And now, in the year 2012, that can mean on the internet, can mean blog spots or Yahoo groups or email chains or Facebook. But a strong community is a community that's working together, because individuals are just individuals. One person can make a big difference, but the best way to make a big difference is to be working with lots of others who are trying to make a difference too. Last year, I launched an effort in the Gardenland Northgate area to try to create what's called a PBID, a Business Improvement District, along the Northgate corridor. Those are really popular in other parts of the city because all of the businesses in the region assess themselves, and they use that money together cumulatively to improve the area. I think some type of business district along the Northgate corridor would really change how Gardenland Northgate is perceived. It would help recruit businesses there, and it would help maintain the existing businesses that are there. But that's a long-range goal because it takes a while to get those implemented and in place. I like to work with Councilmember Cohn, who now represents that area, and try to partner on improving the existing facilities like the baseball diamonds at Rio Tierra, which we worked on together, and the Niños Park, which I worked on with you guys, and to empower the youth who are there that will certainly be the next generation of leadership in Gardenland Northgate. My name is Angelique Ashby.